आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा चढ़ी उठो जीवा देवा वरे शेष आलोक विभावरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्रा चढ़ी उठ जीवा विभावरी शेष बोल हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा नरसिंह वामन श्रीमधुसूदन ब्रजेन्द्र नंदन श्यामा कैतवचातन जय दशरथ राम यशोदा दुलाल गोविंद गोपाल वृंदावन पुरंदरा गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रमण भुवन सुंदर वरा श्रावणांतकर माकन तास्कर गोपी जना वस्त्रहारी राखाल गोप वृंदापाल चित्ता हरि वंशीधारी योगींद्र वंदन श्रीनंदनंदन व्रज जन भयहारी नवीन नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहन वंशी विहारी यशोदानंदन कंस निसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी यशोदानंदन कदम्ब कानन रास परायण वृंदा विपिन निवासी आनंदवर्धन प्रेम निकेतन कुलशावा गोपांगना गण चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुण गणधाम यशोदानंदन कंस निसूदन निकुंज रास विलासी कदम्ब कानन रास परायण वृंद विपिन निवासी विभवरी शेष आलोक प्रवेश निद्र छाड़ी उठो जीवा विभवरी शेष बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्णाय देवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्णाय देवा राम कृष्णाय देवा कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिमस डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर बीपीटी फाउंडर डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Shri Shri Radha Kunja Bihari ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, बलराम जयंती महामहोत्सव की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमावो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कृतवान् किल कर्माणि सह रामेण केशव अतिमर्त्यानि भगवान् गूढकपटमानुषः नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। You all can recite this word. This is 10th canto, 79th chapter, text number 24. युधिष्ठिरस्तु तं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुरिहागतः। युधिष्ठिरस्तु तं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुरिहागतः। युधिष्ठिरस्तु तं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुरिहागतः। युधिष्ठिरस्तु तं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुर इहागतः स्तुतं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुरिहागतः। माताजी, युधिष्ठिरस्तुतं दृष्ट्वा यमौ कृष्णार्जुनावपि अभिवाद्या भवं स्तुष्णीं किं विवक्षुरिहागतः। युधिष्ठिरः, King Yudhishthira, to but tam him, Lord Balaram, Drishtva, seeing Yamau, the twin brothers, Nakula and Sahadeva, Krishna Arjuna, Lord Krishna and Arjuna, Api also, Abhivadya, offering obeisances, Abhavan, they were, Tushnim, silent, Kim, what? Vivakshuhu, intending to say, Iha, here, Agataha, has come. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, when Yudhishthira, Lord Krishna, Arjuna, and the twin brothers, Nakula and Sahadeva, saw Lord Balaram, they offered him respectful obeisances, but said nothing, thinking, what has he come here to tell us? So, one verse before that I will show you one line translation, you should see that also. The Lord heard from some Brahmanas how all the kings involved in the battle between Kurus and Pandavas had been killed. From this he concluded that the earth was now relieved of her burden. And then, wanting to stop the club fight, then raging between Bhima and Duryodhana on the battlefield, Lord Balram went to Kurukshetra. This is the context. So Balram has now come to Kurukshetra at the end of the Mahabharata battle. Almost battle is over. Only two fellows are left. Bhima and Duryodhana are having a mace fight now. At that time Balram arrives there. At that time, when Yudhishthira and Lord Krishna, Arjuna and the twin brothers Nakul Sahadev, they all saw Lord Balram. They offered him respect but said nothing, thinking, what has he come here to tell us? So, because Balram had not participated in the battle, you all know that. He went for Tirth Yatra. Vidura also didn't participate. He also went on pilgrimage. So some people who felt that both sides are the relatives and they didn't want to fight. They had left the battle. They had gone away. But then now the battle is not over. He has come back. So there is a question mark in their face. Why he has come? Prabhupada writes here. Why they were silent? Prabhupada, only you have to hear from Prabhupada. Prabhupada writes, purport. The reason they were silent was that Lord Balram was somewhat affectionate towards Duryodhana, who had learned from Balramji the art of fighting with a club. Thus, when the fighting was going on, King Yudhishthir and the others thought that Balram might have come there to say something in favor of Duryodhana, and therefore they remained silent. That is the secret behind their silence. So welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class today. This is the topic today. Why was Duryodhana sometimes called as, why was Balaram called as Duryodhan Guru sometimes? Or why was Balaram so affectionate to evil-minded Duryodhana? It's an important question. Because we know very well, Lord Krishna is always on the side of those who are following the Vedic culture, Brahminical culture. And why was Balram somewhat affectionate to Duryodhana? That will be answered today, you will see that. We all know very well these facts that Duryodhana offended Lord Krishna in Hastinapur. Actually, when Krishna went for a peace mission, Duryodhana had made an arrangement to capture Krishna by all his thousands of soldiers with weapons and a cage falling from the top. All that. He had made arrangements. Even though some others like Satyaki, Kritavar Mandal warned Krishna that we heard that Duryodhana has made arrangement to capture you, Krishna laughed and said, even all 33 crore devatas together cannot capture me. What can this tiny toddler do anything to me? So Krishna laughed it away. And at one point of time, when Krishna was about to leave the palace, at that time, Duryodhana clapped his hands and all the soldiers came besieging Krishna from all sides. His idea was this: if you capture Krishna and arrest him, put him behind the bars, then Pandavas will be, completely defeated. It's like if you cut a tree and remove the root, can the tree survive? The rest of the tree will perish. It will dry up. That was the idea of Duryodhana. Take away the power of the Pandavas, then they will again go to forest. That was his idea. But then this is how Krishna showed, you can see here. How Krishna showed his huge Vishwarupa Darshanam. He showed. It's a very amazing form. It's like somewhat like Vishnu, 400 form he showed. Also, and he also showed, it was all the devatas were all showering flowers and they were all with folded palms praying, Pahimam, Pahimam, Rakshamam, Rakshamam. Stars were falling from the sky, ocean, tides were rising high. And there was Vedic mantras being chanted everywhere. All the rishis, munis, everybody was offering obeisances. The devatas were offering obeisances. Shiva came from his chest and Brahma came from his forehead. And this side Balaram, this side Arjuna came from his shoulders and they stood on either side. And all the Lokapalas were on the shoulders. Like our Yama and Varuna and Indra and such kinds of powerful leaders of the devatas. They were all on his shoulders. So, when all the great saintly people like our Bhishma and Vidura and Kripacharya and Drona, they all saw that, they all offered obeisances. Immediately fell flat on the ground when they saw this form. And even Dhritarashtra was anxious to see the form. He asked Sanjaya, what is happening? Tell me. I can hear loud sounds. So he told the truth and then he begged Lord Krishna to give him eyes to see. So Krishna, Tadastu, he blessed him to get the eyes for a few minutes. So even Dhritarashtra got the eyes to see this form. And he also fell flat on the ground. Everybody offered obeisances and glorified Krishna. After it went on for a few minutes, later on Dhritarashtra told Krishna that such a beautiful form you showed. Let this form remain permanently in my eyes and take back my eyes, give me my blindness so that I will not have to see anything else in this world again. So again Dhritarashtra became blind after that. So after Krishna showed this form and resumed his normal two-handed form, even after that Duryodhana did not surrender. Duryodhana was asking Karna, what kind of mystic power Krishna is showing? Like that he was asking to Karna. He thought that Krishna is doing some jadoo. He did not have faith that Krishna is the supreme. Also Duryodhana offended Pandavas, as you see, every one of these pictures shows, how he apparently lovingly fed laddus to Bhima. One of the days when Dhritarashtra had sent Pandavas and Kauravas to riverside to stay in a pleasure bungalow. So on that day, when they were playing in water, Bhima was the strongest, mightiest of the boys. So he would catch the Kaurava boys by the two hands and throw up in the air. And they would fall back in the water. Of course, some of them laughed it off because you don't get hurt by that. Just a playful game. But Duryodhana and Dushasana, they got hurt. Not because that their body was hurt or anything, their ego was hurt. Because Duryodhana was telling Dushasana, hey, look at this guy. Even he's a small boy like us. He's so mighty. What will happen tomorrow, if he becomes grown up, how much more mighty he will become? Probably we will not be able to rule the world. He will take over the world. Before that happens, we have to finish him. Actually, even in corporate circles nowadays, such things happen. If somebody is growing, somebody else is burning in the heart. Jai Shri Radha Kunj Bihari ki jai. Somebody else is worried that, oh, what will happen to me? That colleague of mine is going to get promotion and I will not get. Before he can get promotion, I should pull his leg, do something, or fill up the ears of his boss with something else. So, this kind of cunning behavior, diplomacy, duplicity, sweet talking on face, bad mouthing on back, it is called lack of integrity, or it is a sign of duplicity. And that's what Duryodhana precisely showed. He sweetly talked to Bhima afterwards. Bhima, I am amazed by your strength. I want to give you some gift of laddus today. So lunchtime, he sat next to him and fed him one laddu, and Bhima went on eating. But those laddus are poisonous laddus. Not one or two, plenty. And Bhima went on eating, and nothing happened to Bhima. So Duryodhana was like taken aback by shock. Yeah, he asked Dushasana, have you really done the work? Have you put poison or nothing? This fellow doesn't seem to be affected at all. But after 3-4 hours, the poison started taking effect. And Bhima started getting reeling of his head. Actually, again, Bhima had gone to play in the evening in the river side. Duryodhana and Dushasana were from the hideout, they were watching. And Duryodhana told, look at this guy. He is reeling now. He is falling on the bank of the river. And they looked around, no one else was there. So he tied his Bhima's body with a rope with stone, big stone, and threw him into the water. And then you all know the story, what happened. How the snakes in the water at the bottom of the river, they bit him and the poisons got cancelled. So Bhima survived. But you see Krishna's arrangement, when Bhima woke up, he thought the snakes are his enemies, they're biting him. So he started catching them and beating them. But the snakes ran back to their boss and they reported. And they came to know that, oh, one of the Pandavas is here. They said, this is our family friend. They immediately arranged for Bhima to be brought and they gave him a very nice elixir to drink. After drinking which, he got strength of 10,000 elephants. Actually, they thought he will take like we take Charanamrit little bit. Because elixir is a very strong one. But he drank 4 or 5 pots. They have never seen anybody drinking even one pot also. But this fellow drank 4 or 5 pots and then he lied down. Then after 4 days he got very strong. So he became very strong. Then he bid farewell to with them, and then he again went from there back to meet the Pandavas. Now he was enormously strong. Actually, the Duryodhana's intention to poison Bhima was to finish him. But Bhima Bhima returned with renewed vigor, multiple strength, 10,000 elephant strength. Just see how devotees of the Lord are protected by Krishna, you can see that. So, in this way, you can understand the evil intention of Duryodhana in feeding laddus to Bhima. Same manner you see here, disrobing Draupadi in the public, shamelessly. Actually, Draupadi should be treated like his younger sister. Yudhishthira is like his younger brother, he should treat like that, correct, no? Somebody is elder to you, you treat with respect. Somebody younger to you, you be compassionate and be kind. Not that you exploit. You can see Yudhishthira is like that. Yudhishthira, Duryodhana is younger to him, and Yudhishthira treats him like a brother, like his own brothers. He treated him like that. And how Yudhishthira is treating Dhritarashtra as an elder with great respect. On the other hand, Duryodhana, how is he treating Yudhishthira? With envy. He is insecure when he sees Yudhishthira. This is the fellow who is going to become king of the world, and I want his position. I want what he has. He thinks like that. When he looks at Bhima, he is very envious. He wants to destroy Bhima. When he looks at Draupadi, he wants to exploit her. So you can see Draupadi is younger to him, he wants to exploit her. So you will see that this is the mentality of Duryodhana. He offended all the Pandavas in that way. You know that one time when Dhritarashtra sent the Pandavas to the Varanavat Lakshagraha, Yudhishthira Maharaj was intelligent. He called Bhima and Arjuna and asked, why are we being sent and not the Kauravas? Dhritarashtra is telling us to go and enjoy our holidays there. But why is he not telling his sons to enjoy? And Bhima said, there must be some secrecy to finish us. Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana must have hatched some plot to kill us. Arjuna also felt that way. But Yudhishthira Maharaj told them, shh, keep quiet, he said. Don't talk about it, he said. Because right now our position is weak. We are fatherless children. And we have no stand here. And if we bring out this suspicion, it may become a problem for us, for our survival itself. So let us take consultation from Vidurji, our uncle, who is our affectionate uncle. So then Vidur guided them, you know what to do. From the Varnavat Lakshagraha, they were saved. Although that house of lac was set on fire, Pandavas came out through a suranga from the bottom, from a tunnel. Again, it shows the evil intention of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. Each of these instances, and Duryodhana, when he went to the Rajsu Yajna, he saw, actually everybody took some service. Like for example, Bhishma was allotted the overall administration, overall management. Then Dushasana was in the food for life type of food distribution or something. Each of them was given some service. Arjuna was supposed to receive the saintly people and arrange for accommodation and everything for them. And our Duryodhana volunteered to do the service of collecting the gifts that would come to the Rajsu Yajna. Why he wanted that department? Because gifts will include also money, gold, silver, diamond. He wanted to actually see how much is coming. Therefore, he took that service. And Krishna took the service of washing the feet of the saintly people who will come to the Rajsu Yajna. Most humble service he accepted. So, now Duryodhana already is envious. After seeing all the gifts coming, he became doubly envious. More envious. He is aggravating his disease. Then on the way back after the Rajsu Yajna, of course, he had seen when he came back, he told our Shakuni, there is a conversation between Duryodhana and Shakuni. And Shakuni is asking, my dear Duryodhana, why you are so unhappy? Your face looks so sad. And Duryodhana said, who in this world can be happy seeing his enemies prosper? He was asking. So Shakuni immediately understood. He said, we can also arrange some festival where you will also get such gifts. Duryodhana said, uncle, that's not the point. I don't want gifts, but I don't want to see the Pandavas prosper. They have to be wiped out. That is my anxiety. Like that he said. This is a very dangerous desire. Desire to wipe out others. Hiranyakashipu wanted to wipe out Prahlad. He got wiped out. Isn't it? You will see that each of the fellows like this. Those who wanted to wipe out somebody, unless they are stopped from that mentality, they themselves were, like Kamsa wanted to wipe out Krishna, correct, no? Finally he himself got wiped out. You will see that. Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Duryodhana, all are in the same category. The desire to wipe out some so-called enemy. So then Shakuni said, that is not possible by your fighting skills alone. That's just not possible. Pandavas are, invincible, indefeatable fellows. Each of them is like a lion. They are world champions. There is only one way you can finish them. How? By gambling match. Yudhishthira is weak in dice game, and I am the world champion in dice game. I can throw and get the number I want. That was Shakuni. Therefore he said, let us invite them for a dice game, and we can cheat them of their kingdom, and then we can drive them to forest. He and Shakuni made that plot, and you can see a picture. As you see, they were sent away to forest. All the Pandavas were tricked and sent away. All their wealth was stolen away and driven away to forest. So each of these instances show that Duryodhana is not friend of the devotees. Duryodhana is enemy of the devotees. Pandavas were pure devotees. There is a word used in Bhagavatam, apandavayam. Word is used, apandavayam means he wanted to make this world rid of the Pandavas. That was his mindset. So, in spite of all this, Duryodhana is famous as a great disciple of Lord Balaram. Why? That is explained by this two purports you can see here. You have the mic with you? Something can take it, yeah.
Hare Krishna. In spite of all these, Duryodhana is famous as a great disciple of Lord Balaram. The Almighty Lord Balaram stayed in Mithila for several years, honored by his affectionate devotee Janak Maharaj.
See, the word Janaka is like a surname, like a title. Huh? There have been many kings in their Mithila, and the king is called with the name Janaka. This is not Sita's father. And this Janaka is actually a title. Yeah.
During that time, Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana learned from Balaram the art of fighting with a club.
Yeah.
Shukadev
So
Goswami
you
said,
know Balram is famous for club and mace fighting. Correct now? So like he's carrying club on his left hand and mace on the right hand. So he taught this. He's a teacher. So he taught Duryodhana how to fight with the mace. So later on you will hear Duryodhana was very skilled and very expert in fighting with the mace. When you compare Bhima on one hand and Duryodhana on the other, Duryodhana was skilled. Bhima had raw strength. So which is better if you ask? Raw strength is better or skill is better? Skill is better. Prabhupada says, like the rabbit and the lion, buddhiryasya balam tasya, Prabhupada says. So your Prabhupada tells a story. Once upon a time when the rabbit was caught by a lion, the rabbit requested, "Sir, please allow me to tell my family members and bid a farewell, bye-bye, and then come." Lion said, "I'm not a fool to leave you to go, because once you go, you won't come back." But the rabbit told him, "God promised, I'll surely come back." So the lion said, "Okay, you should be back by 1 o'clock." And the rabbit agreed, but he came by 2 o'clock. The lion asked why. Rabbit said, "Sir, on the way there was a huge lion in a well, and that fellow claims that he is actually the king of the jungle and not you." And the lion got ego problem. Who said somebody else is the king? And the rabbits got frightened. He said, "Sir, don't be angry with me. Actually, that fellow claimed, I also told him, I already know the king of the jungle and I am supposed to meet him back at 1. But this fellow was claiming I had a heated argument with him, therefore I got 1 hour late." He said, this lion said, "Take me there." Then he was taken there and then he showed the well. So in the well water, when the lion saw, whom did he see? His own reflection, jumped into the well. That was the end of the line. So Prabhupada says, buddhiryasya. So if you have the intelligence, you are considered superior to one who has raw strength. Like our lion has strength, but rabbit had intelligence. Similarly, out of the two, naturally, Duryodhana is more skilled. He may know the movements or the strategy, how to attack the enemy. And Bhima had raw strength. But Bhima had another great strength. No matter how passionate he was always submissive to Yudhishthira Maharaj. He controlled his passions. His passion was like a flood, but Yudhishthira's religiosity and the true north principles and the universal teachings which he faithfully followed according to God's laws as given in scriptures, that was actually the binding factor for Bhima to restrain himself. Just like compare a flood and compare a dam. Which is better? Dam is better or flood is better? Yeah, because in dam you have conserved energy. You can release it the time you want it, favorably. Whereas a flood can do no good. So, although Bhima's strength was like a flood, it could be restrained by the instructions of Yudhishthira. That is a greater strength than the skill of Duryodhana. See, Duryodhana may be skilled, but he doesn't follow the universal laws of God. He doesn't follow Krishna. He doesn't follow the religious principles. He actually wants to, plan his own crooked ways, diplomatic ways. And he thinks that his intelligence is so, he thinks, I'm so great that my intelligence surpasses even Krishna's intelligence. That is the idea of Duryodhana. Therefore, he was ultimately defeated. You will see that. So, now Duryodhana being erratic in his dealings and behavior, Duryodhana being on the irreligious side, and he is anti-Krishna and anti-pure devotees. Then why is Balaram appearing to be favorable to him? You may have a question. That will be answered very soon. Read that on other side.
Shukadev Goswami said, while traveling far and wide, visiting various holy places of pilgrimage, Arjuna came to Prabhasa. There, he heard that Lord Balaram intended to give his maternal cousin Subhadra to Duryodhana in marriage, and that no one else approved of this plan.
You see, you heard about split personality, you heard? Sometimes a person has two opposite thoughts. First, he makes very firm decision to do this in one direction. Suddenly, next day, he will say all the disadvantages of this proposal, and he will go for the diametrically opposite. It's called split personality. So sometimes you will see if ultimately everything comes from God, as we say. When Krishna expands as Balaram, you know, Krishna intended to give Subhadra in marriage to Arjuna. Because Krishna thought if Arjuna marries my sister, then I will become his brother-in-law, which is even more intimate relationship. So that was Krishna's desire and Arjuna's desire also, and Subhadra's desire also. Subhadra had already known about Arjuna. She wanted to marry him. Everybody was happy. But in the meantime, Balram was thinking of giving Subhadra in marriage to Duryodhana. So Balram had taken his sister Subhadra. They were in one place. Like he talks about this when Arjuna came to Prabhas, he came to know that that time. And now, how do we understand this? You will see this is the meaning of rasa. In the Ram Leela, you will find Rama is elder and Lakshman is younger. So because of that, Lakshman had to face a lot of challenges. Like for example, Lakshman got chastisement from Sita for not going to search after Ram in the Leela when the Maricha became a deer. So she chastised him heavily and told him, you have to go at any cost. And then he went. But there Rama chastised him also. He said, how dare you left Sita alone and came to me? What will happen to her, innocent lady? I told you to protect her and not leave her and come. You have come here. Now we have to rush back and see. This was a Mayavi, deer. At that time, Lakshmana was shattered because repeatedly he told Sita that nothing can happen to Ram. He has told me to be protecting you, but she wasn't listening. Then he put a circle around the hut and told her, leave that circle. And he told her, I am your protector on behalf of Rama. So this land will emanate fire if anybody tries to enter it. But you should not come out, he said. Similarly, our spiritual master has put a line around us, which is 4 regulative principles. So as long as you are within the 4 regulative principles, Maya cannot touch you. But you can go out of the line because you can break the regulative principles. But as long as you don't break it, Maya cannot sneak in. Even Ravana tried entering that circle. When that fire came, he got shocked. Therefore he told Sita, come out and give me the fruits. He told her. Sita, that was a mistake she did, for which she had to suffer a lot in Lanka. Now the point is, Lakshman got chastisement from Sita, he got chastisement from Ram. Later on, Mother Sita told him to arrange for the Agni, where she could enter, like an Agni Pariksha. And Lakshman couldn't say no. Later on, after Rama became the king, he told Lakshman and Sumantra, minister, that both of you leave Sita in the Valmiki's ashrama and come back. And Lakshman was really very angry because, just because a Dobi has said something, why should you leave Sita in Valmiki's ashrama? You have got Sita after a long time. Now, you and Sita should rule the world for a long, long period of time. Why should she be sent? He was not happy. But you can't object to the instruction of elder brother. So he just tolerated. So, therefore, you will find in Krishna Leela, Balram comes as elder brother. So, being elder brother and Krishna being younger brother, Krishna plays a role where he even fears his elder brother. Like many times, like one example I'll tell you. When Krishna went to Kalyadaha one day with his covered boys, he didn't take Balram because he knew very well that I can't have my Leela with the Kaliya as long as Balram is watching. Correct, no? Because if Balram is there, he will not even allow Krishna to jump into the Yamuna lake to subdue Kaliya. Will allow him? Because who has told Balram to protect Krishna? Yashoda. So Krishna knew that. And so he exactly did this pastime on a day when Balram was not around. Correct, no? You hear that. In the same manner, you also find he is not in the But later on, Balram came and he gave, pacification to all the coward men and ladies. Nothing will happen, don't worry. Huh? He was laughing. When everybody was crying, Balram was laughing. He knew that nothing can happen to Krishna. So, you also find Balram is not there in one more Leela. Which one? Brahma Vimohan Leela. Again, huh? It was his birthday, he was not there. So, you find that sometimes Krishna escapes Balram's vigilance in order to perform some pastime. You can find like this. And also, although Krishna is God, Balram is his expansion. When it comes to elder brother, younger brother, Krishna is submissive to Balaram. He is submissive. You will see in many Leelas, you will find that. Even in the Brahma Vimohan Leela at the end, 1 week before the 1 year was over, 1 week before that, Balaram called Krishna and said, "Hey, tell me, brother, what have you done? Because I see that the cows from the top of the Govardhan are running down to give milk to the grown-up calves. Because grown-up calves don't drink milk. They eat grass. But the grown-up calves were who? Who were they? They were expansions of Krishna. That 1 year period when Brahma had stolen the calves and covered boys. So Krishna had expanded himself as the covered boys and those calves. So therefore the bigger cows were running towards the grown-up calves, and the men were chasing after those cows to stop them, but then they saw their small sons. They also felt affection because those sons were also Krishna's expansions. So Balram could immediately sense it. Why the fathers are showing additional affection to their sons. Cows are showing additional affection to grown-up calves. That time then Krishna revealed. So in this way you will find Balram being elder brother, Krishna cannot hide to him. He reveals to him what he has done. So you find that Balram Krishna relation is like that. In this particular case, Krishna knew his elder brother's desire, Balram's desire. But Krishna also thought that Duryodhana is evil. Why should my sister be given in marriage? So he made one arrangement by which Arjuna would go, we have this fancy dress competition. The people decorate like that. Arjuna had dressed himself up like a monk and went, and he saw Subhadra. Subhadra saw him. They both became very interested also. Already they knew each other. And then Balram apparently behaved as if he didn't know who this fellow was, but he knew who it was. In the ultimate sense. So, and then when the marriage was arranged, Balram became apparently angry, but Krishna came and then pacified Balram. Krishna is very expert in pacifying anybody. So, in this way, in these two instances, Balram is training Duryodhana in fighting the club. He is considering his sister for Duryodhana. All these things shows like a favorable disposition towards Duryodhana, isn't it? Yeah. Married.
Hare Krishna. The reason they were silent was that Lord Balaram was somewhat affectionate toward Duryodhana.
That is the purport we read, isn't it? So they thought that he may do something in favor of Duryodhana, Prabhupada says. Therefore they remained silent. Or they thought that maybe Balram will say to Bhima, "Hey Bhima, stop the battle now. Let Duryodhana live." Like that he may say. But of course, Duryodhana is not going to agree. In fact, Balram tried to pacify both sides, Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas were ready to be pacified. They didn't even want the war. But despite Balram saying, the Kauravas didn't hear. Duryodhana didn't hear. Actually, Duryodhana was preached to by even Vedavyas, by many rishis also. Markandeya Rishi, Narada, many used to come to the palace. They all told this battle should not be done, but Duryodhana was not paying any heed to them. Duryodhana thought that unless Pandavas are finished, I can't live happily. That was his logic, that was his idea. But probably Balaram might have made one more attempt in pacifying. He could have told Duryodhana that, see, everything is finished now. You are the only one left. All your brothers are gone. You may try to pacify. There is a possibility. And he may not listen either. But Pandavas and Krishna, they thought that let this battle be over once and for all. So they remained silent. They didn't ask Balramji anything. See here, Garga Samhita gives some more finer details. Read that.
Garga Samhita gives finer details. Duryodhan considered Balaram the Supreme Lord. He addressed him as Bhagavan.
Duryodhana had great respect for Balram, but not for Krishna.
It was Duryodhan who asked the sage Pradvipak Muni to inform him about Balaram's Rasa dance in Vraj, as well as various prayers and procedures for worshipping Baladev and Balarama's 1000 names. One of Balarama's names is Duryodhana Guru, the Guru of Duryodhana.
These are additional information Garga Samhita gives. Again, this thing shows not only Balram was affectionate and favorable to Duryodhan, Duryodhan also seems to be attracted to Balram as a guru. He treats him like Bhagavan, he's interested in his pastimes. You may wonder, how is it that Duryodhana seems to be intimate with Balram? Yes.
When Bhima killed Duryodhan, Balram was furious and left. How do we reconcile the fact that Duryodhana was very dear to Balaram?
So, here in the picture you see, Duryodhana is knocked down on his thigh, and Bhima is putting his foot on the head of Duryodhana, correct? You're seeing that. And behind you see Balram is running with a club. He is going to attack Bhima. Actually, why Balram is angry? Balram was angry because Bhima hit Duryodhana in the thighs, which is considered against the moral codes of a Kshatriya. Correct, no? That was Balram's anger. Later on, Krishna told Balram actually took his club up, but Krishna stopped him and said, see, when Bhima hit Duryodhana on the thigh, that time Duryodhana had jumped with both legs above the ground. See, if you are in the mace fighting, if both legs are above the ground, if you hit the person on thigh, it is equal to hitting him on the hip. It is hitting on the thigh. Because he has jumped above the ground, therefore it is hitting on the thigh. So in that way, Bhima cannot be considered erratic. And also, Krishna told him that the Pandavas are virtuous and Duryodhana is vicious. And he told, in this world, the dharma should be established, adharma should be destroyed. And you are actually upholder of all religious principles. You know all these things, my brother. Actually, Krishna was very intelligent. When Balram lifted his club, Krishna tightly embraced him. Balram couldn't run only. He wanted to run. He was like pushing himself, but Krishna was not leaving him. And after that, Krishna fell at the feet of Balram and caught hold of his feet. Balram couldn't run. And then when Balram's anger pacified, then Krishna left him after that. In this way, Balram appeared to show favoritism to Duryodhana here.
There may be many answers to this question, but we can conclude that although Duryodhan looked like he was very close, ultimately his attitude was not pleasing to Lord Balaram.
So His Holiness Gaura Govind Swami Maharaj has given 3-4 explanations which I am going to show you. Why Balaram appeared to be favorable to Duryodhana and Duryodhana appeared to be affectionate to Balaram. There are reasons are given now. They are very, very important, especially for sadhakas. Very valuable lessons Maharaj gives.
Answer 1. First, it's not always easy to see who is really close to the Guru. By the apara vichar, the apparent consideration, it appeared that both Banasur and Ravana pleased Mahadev Shiva and got his mercy.
See, para vichar, apara vichar. Para vichar means transcendental conclusion. And apara vichar means mundane conclusion. See, from a mundane point of view, Banasura was a devotee of Shiva. Ravana was also a devotee of Shiva. And they both, like Ravana, I heard that once when he was singing, Lord Shiva became very pleased. And Lord Shiva started dancing. And suddenly the strings of the veena got broken. And he couldn't continue playing that. So he opened his belly and took out some nerves, and with that he played. It is said, Ravana, such a great devotee. It looks like that. Correct, no? So similarly, you will find Banasura also considered a very great devotee. And also even this Bhasmasura also. Bhasmasura actually went to Kedarnath. In Kedarnath, he was cutting flesh from his thighs and offering it in the fire. Somebody may say, what a sacrificing devotee. Huh? Is there any of you can cut your flesh from your thighs and give it to Krishna? Huh? How difficult it is. Huh? He was putting in the fire. Then when Shiva wasn't coming, he took a chopper and put his head right above the sacrificial fire, and he wanted to cut the neck so that the head will fall straight into fire. Because if you're sitting and cutting, you can't offer. Before you offer, you are already dead. Isn't it? Therefore, he was putting his head, he was about to cut. At that time, Shiva immediately manifested. So these guys appear to be very austere fellows, very serious devotees of Shiva. Isn't it? Yeah, in the same way.
But our acharyas have described that they only got sakapata krpa, mercy with cheating. They got some wealth, fame and position. They didn't get the nishkapata kripa, mercy without cheating or Krishna prema. In the same way, although it apparently looked like Duryodhana was close to Lord Balaram, internally he was far away from the Lord.
Yeah. So there are two types of kripa, sakapata and akapata. Sakapata kripa means it is mercy with cheating. Akapata kripa means it's mercy without cheating. So this is the deepest concept explained here. See, sakapata kripa means it looks like a big thing, but it is a cheap thing. Say, for example, Indra versus Prithu, if you see. Prithu Maharaj was told by Brahmaji and Vishnu not to do the 100 sacrifice, correct? And he went back home, back to Godhead along with his good wife Archi. Correct, no? On the other hand, Indra was, Indra was like forgiven. And then he could continue his post as Indra. So how many of you, when you read this pastime, it appeared that Indra should have been given some punishment? You agree? Because he committed the mistake. And then Prithu is told not to perform the 100 sacrifice. Is it not true? So it doesn't appear like a pakshapat, it looks like that. Injustice. But actually, if you see, Indra missed the ticket back to Godhead because of his attachment to post. Just like, for example, if one of you is a HOD in a department in this temple, and I am telling you there is another person giving 10 crore rupees and he is giving land, he is building a ready-made 5-story building temple, and he wants a president for the temple. And if I tell you, please, you leave your service here as a HOD and go and be president of the temple, how many of you will go and be president? You agree, correct? Is it not true? See, land is there, ready-made building is there, and you have to just accept the post, that's all. And you are thinking, Prabhuji, 6 years I have served in this department, how can you tell me to quit this post? Indra is like that. Indra is saying, no, I am Indra, I can't leave this post, I am Shatakratu, I will hold on to it, please don't tell me to leave this. Then Lord Krishna says, okay, you be HOD only. Then he catches another HOD and tells him, you be president. And that is Prithu Maharaj. Correct? Isn't it? So Prithu was intelligent. He understood HOD in this temple and president in another temple. You know the difference between the two. Isn't it? Because going to spiritual world means so much independence. Is it not true? Ultimate independence it is. It's called as fountainhead of all liberties. Which one? Going back to Godhead. Fountainhead of all liberties. And Prithu chose that. Foolish Indra chose this. Because Indra was foolish, choosing this itself is punishment. You don't have to give one more punishment. Already punishment is there. Isn't it? That means not choosing the fountainhead of all liberties itself is a punishment for Indra. In the same manner, you find these three fellows, I told you the names of Bhasmasura, Ravana and Banasura and all. They all got sakapata kripa. Although Shiva did not exhibit anger towards them, he is Mahadev, he is very tolerant. But what they got was all, you will see that. Read further.
Answer 2. Although Duryodhana...
let us say one word about each of those three fellows. Ravana ultimately was destroyed, correct? When Ravana was acting against Lord Rama, there was one demigod meeting going on in the sky. At that time Shiva was also present in the meeting. Parvati came running and said, my dear Lord, Lord Rama is waging a war against Ravan. Today he has given ultimatum to him. He told him that you go today and come tomorrow. So if he comes tomorrow, the whole idea of Ram was maybe he will have a change of heart. But Ravana didn't have a change of heart. Then there was a valiant war. And then Parvati told Shiva that your disciple is waging a war. It appears he is going to die. Shiva said, I can't do anything to him. Vinasha kale viparita buddhi. He has gone against Supreme Lord. So I can't save him now. So Lord Shiva washed his hand away, and Ravana was destroyed. What happened to Bhasmasura? He was also destroyed. Banasura, he was also destroyed. All these fellows, they all, that means the wealth they got and the powers they got, mystic powers and the positions they got, and that's all kapata. Because those very same positions and powers and wealth destroyed them. Therefore, it is called sakapata krpa. Now you read it?
Answer 2. Although Duryodhan had some faith in Balaram, he didn't have faith in Krishna or respect for the Pandavas. In the same way, sometimes a disciple may be full of enthusiasm for his or her guru, but may neglect or offend other Vaishnavas.
You have seen devotees like this sometimes. They will extol the glory of Guru, they will tell pastimes of Guru, they will be keeping photos of Guru everywhere in their computer, in their smartphone, in their room. They will roll on the ground thinking when Guru comes, they will be all the time around him. They have a lot of respect. But at the same time, they may neglect or offend other Vaishnavas. So this is one type of behavior then.
Or, like Duryodhan, some disciples may express devotion for their guru, but they may not be interested in worshipping Krishna or chanting Krishna Naam.
This is a sentimental attachment to Guru. Like when Prabhupada was on the planet, there were some devotees, wherever Prabhupada traveled, they will travel with Prabhupada. Prabhupada will be sitting in the airport, they will sit at his feet and just keep staring at his face. And they will be always talking about Prabhupada, traveling with Prabhupada. So they seem to be very attached to Prabhupada. Prabhupada one day told that, a mosquito is also sitting on the body of the spiritual master, but he's only biting. What good can he do, a mosquito can do for a guru? Similarly, simply attached to me is not enough. Your attachment to me should awaken your attachment to Krishna and your service attitude towards Krishna. Otherwise, your attachment to me is just sentimental. So when Prabhupada left for the spiritual world in 1977, so some of these people, they also left practicing Krishna consciousness because their strength was only affection for Prabhupada. But after Prabhupada left, they couldn't practice. That was sentimental attachment. Actually, attachment to sadhu is very great. But sayeva sadhushu kruto mokshadwaram apavritam. Actually, our attachment to sadhu should help us to develop attachment to Krishna. An attachment to seva for Krishna, Krishna seva. Otherwise, it remains sentimental. Yeah, yes.
Although it may appear that such...
Like for example, when you become attached to a Vaishnava devotee, because you love that Vaishnava, you may do what he tells you to do. Like Prabhupada told them, stop cigarettes. They stopped. But then in Guru Puja, sometimes they would take a break and go to the neighborhood donut shop and smoke cigarette. And Prabhupada would come out and see. They would be hiding below the table. Right? So they were struggling with their bad habits. On the other hand, love for Prabhupada impelled them to stop the bad habits. At the same time, become surrendered. So in this way, gradually a disciple, due to love for a Vaishnava, can give up bad habits. That's the point. But if they don't give up bad habits, they say, I love you very much, but I won't do what you say. They are that kind of people. There are people, disciples who, I love my Guru Maharaj so much, but I will not do what he says. Like one disciple used to come with a big garland, heavy garland like Balaji garland. Come and put on the Guru's neck. And Guru will say, thank you for this big garland. But are you coming to temple? Are you attending the programs, weekly program? Are you learning something? But, he would only come when Guru comes. Then Guru told him that, even if you don't put me this garland, I won't mind. But if you become well situated in Krishna consciousness, I'll be more happy. So he had love for Guru, but his love was very superficial, sentimental. He didn't follow Guru's order. This is exactly Duryodhana. He may say that I love Balaramji, but he will not do what Balaramji says. Like all these fellows, Ravana, our Bhasmasura, and then Banasura. Duryodhana is the same category. Go ahead.
Although it may appear that such devotees are very close to their Guru, and they may even get some big position, they do not get the same quality of mercy that a surrendered disciple receives.
Yeah. So, there is a Antarmukha Shishya and Bahirmukha Shishya. Antarmukha Shishya will never promote the Guru. He will never catch new people and say, I'll get you initiated from my Guru. He will never do that. In fact, he will not even talk about his guru to the new people. Whenever people grow up, come to 16 rounds, become very committed devotees, they go and ask him, Prabhuji, I want to know about your spiritual master. He will say that you can know about all spiritual masters. Why only my spiritual master? You can take Diksha from anybody. Whomever you are attracted to, you can take Diksha. On the other hand, there are devotees who catch newcomers and get them initiated from the Guru. Later on, they are not attracted to the Guru. So they become envious of the Guru also later on. Then later on, they have gotten Diksha from one Guru and they are attracted to somebody else. And they become angry with the senior who forced them to take initiation. All those things happen, naughty things happen. So, in this way, Antarmukha Shishya means he actually carries Guru in his heart. He worships his Guru in his heart. He has great affection for Guru in the heart. He doesn't, like a chaste wife, her affection for Guru comes as seva. Her affection for husband comes as service to husband. But those men and women who marry, those affection is not very deep. When they go in the market, they want to show to the world how affectionate we are. They are embracing, kissing everybody in the public road. That is not actually affection. That is only a display of so-called intimacy. Real affection means, the same people who are embracing, kissing, after 2 years, they will be divorced. You will see what kind of affection is that. Affection means, can you serve your husband for next 60 years? Can you avoid the breakage of the family? That is real family, isn't it? Similarly, one who steadily, consistently serves Guru, up to the last breath, he doesn't leave. He is actually a faithful disciple. Not one who keeps for a photo of Guru in the screen, a photo of Guru in the smartphone, and says, my Guru, my Guru, my Guru, my Guru. And then when the Guru says, do this, he will not do it. He will do what he wants. Yeah. So in this way you find, therefore such fellows may even demand and get some position or post, they may, but they may not be attracted to chanting Krishna now. They may not be interested in worshipping Krishna. That means they offend other devotees. They don't chant Krishna Nam or worship Krishna. And they may even, like Indra got his post, Indra's post, but he missed the ticket back to Godhead. Yeah, yes.
Answer 3. The Garga Samhita describes him as Amsha or partial expansion of Kali. Duryodhanaha Kale Ramsho.
See? Garga Samhita says, Duryodhanaha Kale Ramsho. He is Amsha of Kali, yeah.
Although externally he looked like a big follower of his Guru, in actuality, Duryodhan was a servant and follower of Kali, not his Guru, Lord Balaram. He had his own separate agenda from the Lord, an agenda that ultimately caused pain and death for millions of persons.
Yeah. If you see why he is called as Kale Ramsho, first of all, he is called as a Krishna Dvit. That's one word used in the Bhagavatam called Krishna Dvit, means envious of Krishna. And he also wanted to make the world apandavayam, which means he would want to destroy the Pandavas. He hates Krishna, he wanted to destroy the Pandavas, and he was not ready for a peace summit, which means he wanted violence, where crores of soldiers will be killed. He wanted that. Therefore, he is called Kale Ramsha. He is against the religious principles. So, those who are, like we say, Paritranaya Sadhanam, Vinashaya Dushkritam, Dharma Samstapanartha. So he is not for seeing Dharma Samstapan. He is Adharma. He is anti-Dharma he does. Therefore he is Kale Ramsho. Yeah.
Let us not remain Duryodhan. Regarding such duplicity, Thakur Bhakti Vinod states in his Baula Sangeet, Eyato eka kalir chela.
ये तो ये कलर चेला माता नेड़ा कपनी पर तिलक न के गलाए माला. All of you repeat.
Kalir chela mata neda kapne para tilak na ke galaya mala. Here is a disciple of Kali Yuga. He has a shaved head, wears copins, marks his forehead with tilak, and keeps tulsi beads around his neck.
See? You'll be shocked, really? This looks like an explanation of a devotee. It's called Kaler Chela. Kaler Chela means what? It is in Kali Yuga you will find people externally will look like sadhus. They may wear tilak, they may wear kantimala, they may have bead bag, they may look like a devotee, but he called as Kaler Chela. Why? Similar to the song that our Gaura Krishna Babaji used to sing, who was very fond of one song. Gaurara Ami, Mukhe bolile nahi chale. Gaurara Ami, Mukhe bolile nahi chale. Gaurara achara, Gaurara vichara, Mukhe bolile. Gaurara achara, Gaurara vichara. Loila phala phale, loila phale. Loka dekhana, Gaura bhaja, tilaka matra dhare. Kana Gaura bhaja, tilaka matra dhari. Gopane te atyachara, Gaur dhare churi. Gopane te atyachara, Gaur dhare churi. Gaurarami, Mukhe bolile nahi chale. Gaurarami, Mukhe bolile nahi chale. Gaurara achara, Gaurara vichara, Loila phala phale. Gaurara achara, Gaurara vichara, Loila phala. What is the meaning of this song? I am follower of Lord Chaitanya, Gaurarami. People proudly, they wear tilak, they wear kantimala, they wear bead bag. They behave like a devotee externally, but they are saying Gopanete Atyachara Gaur Derechuri. He says that Loka Dekana, just for showing off to people, they show like a devotee. Loka Dekana, they wear a tilak, they have kantimala, they have everything. They show off like, you see the picture what they have shown. He looks like a devotee, but he is not having a devotional mindset. He is just an enjoyer. He is a sense enjoyer. So, if somebody is a sense enjoyer, he misbehaves with women, he mishandles money, he is a cheater, he has no integrity, he is duplicitous. So, this is a problem in Kali Yuga. Like one time in our camp temple, one chapal chor came. So he wore a tilak because he saw everybody. So he also put a tilak and he came to the stall and purchased one bead bag also. So he put a bead bag around his neck. And what he will do, he will bring some 20 rupees chapel and keep it and take away 2000 rupees shoes. And then wear it and go away. And he was doing it 3-4 times. And then one day he was caught because then the watchman was observing everybody. Where is he putting chapel and from where is he taking? And then he found out he was caught red-handed. Then they understood he doesn't know one thing in Krishna consciousness. He doesn't know anything except that he is wearing tilak. Wearing tilak and wearing bead bag just to pretend like a devotee. It's a chapal chore. He was caught and punished later on. In the same manner, this is a warning Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us that we should not be superficial devotees like Duryodhana. That Duryodhana pretends like he has respect for Balaram as Bhagavan. He is learning from Balaram the skills, but he has not learned from Balaram the Seva Bhav. He wants only the skills of the Guru. Oh, Guru is popular. I will use Guru's name to become popular, like Ekalavya. Ekalavya wanted to use Guru's reputation for his popularity. So, in the same manner, there is a very bad tendency in materialistic disciples, like Bahirmukha Shishya, to many times use the Guru's skills for one's promotion, one's self-promotion, like what Ekalavya did or Duryodhana is doing. He is interested in the skill of Balaram. What is the skill of Balaram? Mace fighting and club fighting. But he doesn't want the... Balaram is personified Seva Bhava. In the first expansion of Krishna, Balaram is serving Krishna. Is Duryodhana serving Krishna? He doesn't want to serve. This is his mentality. So that's why Kalarichala is like that. He will externally, he knows that my Guru is wearing this external attire of a Vaishnava. If I will also wear, people will respect me. He wants the respect that is due for a monk, but he doesn't behave like a monk. He behaves like a materialist. So this is the lesson that we should take. So then such Kalera Chelas have got only what kripa? Sakapata kripa. Not akapata kripa. So if you see Prachetas, they got akapata kripa because they went to the forest, they saw Lord Shiva, and Shiva taught them Rudra Gita, by chanting which they attained the darshan of Vishnu, attained ultimate perfection of life, and went back to Godhead. You will see that. On the other hand, Ravana and all this Banasura, Bhasmasura, Duryodhana, they all got cheated. They claimed to have connection with Shiva or claimed to have connection with great personalities like Balaram. Even you will find our Nalakur Manigriv had a great connection with Lord Shiva also. Rudrasya Anucharau, Sudruptau, those words are used. Yeah, Danadatmajau. They are sons of treasurer Kubera. And they had a connection with Shiva. So connection with Guru is not enough. Surrender to Guru is required. Connection with Guru is not enough for only drawing skills and fame and reputation. It's called as pride of association, we call it. Somebody can stand next to Guru and click a photo and tell everybody, I am very dear to Guru. It's very easy. But we have to follow the mood of surrender of Guru. We have to adopt that most important thing. If you have surrendered to Krishna and if you have developed the Seva Bhav in your heart, even if you don't have a single photo with Guru, no problem. You already followed the Guru, you will go back to Godhead. On the other hand, if somebody is drawing only the skills of the Guru and fails to develop the service attitude, and one becomes a cheater like this Kalir Chela that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, one is very unfortunate, he has missed the point. It's called as a sakapata kripa. So, read it, finish it. In 1995 lecture in Bhubaneswar.
In 1995 lecture in Bhubaneswar, His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj warned the devotees that to really have the association of Guru, one must give up ulterior motives and false displays of devotion and must genuinely surrender.
Two things you have to give up. We should not be sahajayik. Sahajayik means, somebody says, Prabhuji, Jagannath came in my dream, and he told me this, and Jagannath spoke to me, and I went to the altar and Jagannath talked to me. There are people who have told me that now they are not even in devotional service now. They have gone to total materialism now. How can Jagannath speak to you and you have given up bhakti to Jagannath now? Now don't make a drama of devotional service. Actually, we should not be like a fast to cry, fast to dry, you say, Fast to cry means some people say, when I hear Kirtan, I have tears in my eyes. And next day he will have tears for somebody else. You will see that. It's called fast to cry, fast to dry. So don't make a drama of devotion service. Consistency is required. This flower pot in Diwali time, if you put like that, it comes. Within 2 minutes it's over. We should be like that. 10,000 wala, you have seen that long one stream. Tap, 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 it keeps on going. So bhakti is like a 10,000 wala or like a flower pot. 10,000. So you don't have to tell anybody that you have devotion. Whether you have devotion or not, people will see. By your surrender, by your sincerity, by your seriousness in devotional service, by your development of service attitude, Krishna will see, Guru will see, world will see. So consistency is required, not just a drama of devotion that means sahajya, making a display of one's devotion. Some people cry while giving lecture. Some people, talk big things that, Radharani came in my dream, Jagannath came in my dream. Even sometimes the grown-up seniors can also speak like that due to desire for popularity, desire for name and fame. If somebody says like that, you can understand he is not a chaste wife. A chaste wife will never show her body to another man other than her husband. Similarly, advanced devotee will never show display of bhava in the public. They will keep it reserved only for Krishna only. So that's why Maharaj is saying that don't make a false display of devotion. In Vrindavan, one man came, fell in front of the deity and rolling on the ground. Immediately devotees ran to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, one great devotee, Bhakta has come. He is rolling on the ground. Prabhupada said, call the watchman, he said. Watchman was called. Prabhupada said, tell the watchman to give him 4 or 5 beatings. They were shocked. And Prabhupada said, after the beating, if he is still humble, that means he is a very advanced devotee. If he becomes angry, he is a crooked, he is a cheater, he said. And the watchman came and gave some beating. That man understood, these people have understood my false display. He got up and ran away. So, Prabhupada was not to be easily cheated by such displays of so-called devotion. Actually, there are many sense gratifiers who cry tears, Radhe, 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 and then they'll be doing nonsense after that. Prabhupada said there are many Radhakund Babajis who are giving Siddha Pranali Diksha, but night you go and see they'll be smoking bidi. And Prabhupada says after passing urine, they don't wash their leg also. What kind of fellows? On the other hand, in ISKCON, Prabhupada said, if you have to enter the altar, you have to be a second initiated Brahman. And you have to take bath before going inside. Such a pure standards he made. But there are so-called cheating Babajis. Some ISKCON devotees also leave ISKCON and go to those Babajis and get cheated also. Don't get cheated by these cheaters. Therefore, false display of devotion, we should never be attracted. Another thing is ulterior motives. Don't accept Diksha from a Guru for ulterior motives. There are people who want Diksha, but after Diksha they will not do all the duties of a disciple. Because some people want to tell others that I am initiated. I am Brahman. I have taken Brahman Diksha. So we don't want to have ulterior motives for which we go to Guru. Or some people want to have high connect. There are many people in their house, they put a picture of a big Guru's photo, but they will never do what Guru tells them to do. And anybody comes to home, they will say, oh, we are also very dharmic people. See, we have a big photo. गुरुजी आए हमारे घर में, आए गुरुजी आए, क्या किया आपने उसके बाद? कुछ नहीं किया, गुरुजी का फोटो रखा बस. You just keep the photo of Guru. Don't keep, then it's like you keep photo of Guru, you don't follow Guru's instruction. Then what is the meaning of having a Guru? Therefore he says, don't accept Guru for ulterior motives. Read. Yeah.
We are only pretending that we have done Atma Nivedan, that we have surrendered, but we have not really surrendered. We have
some people, emotional people say that, oh Guru Maharaj, I give my body, my mind, my words to you. You give your body, you don't come for one Mangalarti also. How are you giving your body? There are people, you see people become emotional sometimes, especially when Diksha comes, Diksha day at all, people cry tears, so they become very emotional. Instead of becoming emotional on Diksha day, keep that emotion for the whole life. Have the same emotion, divide it amongst your whole, the next 30, 40, 50 years. Where is that emotion gone? So, therefore, it's not we don't want false emotions. We want genuine emotion. Okay, you can't come to temple. In your home, are you doing Mangalarti, Darshanarti, Tulsiarti, chanting Japa, reading Bhagavatam? Otherwise, what is the use of a display of emotion? That's why he's saying we don't want to have pretending Atma Nivedan. We have to do real Atma Nivedan. Yes.
We have only been pretending for so many years. And also, for so many years to come in the future, as long as we continue to act artificially, we cannot approach Guru, Sadhu or Vaishnava.
For example, we are chanting Hare Krishna. We are making all the plan making during the chanting. Okay, now today I have to do this, and tomorrow this, and next week this, and next month that, and then this is pending, that's pending, and I should not forget this and everything, and then 16 rounds are over. Is it not cheating? It is one type of cheating only, because we are just rolling the Japamala, but our whole mind is elsewhere. We are not serving Krishna with our mind. We are using the mind for our own business. In fact, we are telling Krishna that please give your name so that all these plans I am making will be fulfilled. Therefore, then we don't get the association of a sadhu. You can see a sadhu with your eyes, but you can't get his association. So what is the meaning of getting association of sadhu? The sadhu can enter your heart and transform your heart. And that will not happen until we give up this pretense. He's saying whether it be chanting, whether it be devotion service. We don't want to do drama devotion service. It has to be genuine, he says.
We cannot get their mercy at all. And therefore, we cannot see their real form.
They have a real form, they have a superficial form. Correct, no? Like Krishna has two forms. One is a Virat Purusha form. Another one is Krishna's Swarupa, which is Satchidananda form. So, when there is one verse, Mallanam, Ashinerinam, Naravarastrinam, Smaro Murtiman, in that verse it says, Mrityu Bhojapate. When Kamsa looked at Krishna, he saw like Virat Purusha. He saw the material form of Krishna. Virat Purusha form, he got frightened. Whereas when all the Gopas and Shoda and Nanda, they saw the beautiful sweet Satchitananda form of Krishna. That's the real form. So you want to see the real form of Guru or the superficial position of Guru. Somebody sees Guru, hey, this Guru is a GBC. Huh? This Guru is very influential. Huh? And I can get this from him. He can give me a post. Huh? Or he can give me power. Huh? Or he can give me a grant for this grant. So that kind of thing people see. Like for example, one example I'll tell you. One group of fellows have started a center independent of ISKCON. But they are calling, like sometimes they call a senior devotee. Prabhuji, you please come and do Udghatan for our, center to open. And what do they have in the center? They got a big Radha Krishna deity, Gaunitai deity, everything they have brought. So the senior devotee went to their center for opening. And the senior devotee is a big ISKCON leader. But the leader, after he went to the center, he asked the people, hey, you brought Radhakrishna deities Gaunitai, but do you have 12 Brahmanas and all? Actually, we don't have. Have you got approval from deity ministry? No, we haven't. Then how did you call me? Therefore, we have called you. You understand? So what he wants, they have clicked a lot of videos, photos of the senior devotee coming. Now they will tell everybody that because the senior devotee has come to our center, that means the center is bona fide. But actually, are they bona fide? See, this is cheating. You understand now? Now, one fellow told me to speak on Varnashrama. I said, I am a youth preacher. How can I speak on Varnashrama? He said, no, Rajampu, your lectures are very famous, We really want to hear from you. So when I was speaking, about 5 to 8 minutes I spoke. And he was starting one project where he will have a Varnashrama project, a farm kind of thing, where many computer engineers can work there, sitting in the farm, and they can make money. They don't have to live in city. That kind of. I said the idea is very good. Engineers can be away from the city and they can also practice spiritual life. So then this fellow uploaded this 5-6 minutes video in his website and then told people that you please give me 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, you can make a hut here. Radheshyam Prabhu has glorified this project. So as soon as people saw my video, immediately people gave. People said, if Radheshyam Prabhu will not approve anybody, if he is approving, it must be authentic. And they gave. And immediately, of course, this fellow took money and ran away. Then later on, of course, he had some losses and everything. Then these people were calling me, Prabhu, you glorified, we gave. Then I said, I never told you to give money. I only spoke about Varnashram. I said, immediately called this man and said, remove this video. You can't use my video to do what you want to do. You want to do nonsense with money mishandling and you want to use my video. If you are a gentleman Vaishnava, you remove that, I told him. Then, of course, he said, Prabhuji, we will make it inactive now. It will not work now. After I give back the money to everybody, if you permit me, I can again use. Like that he was telling. Now, of course, for the time being, it is not active now. But what I am saying is, don't use a Vaishnava for your own thing. These fellows are use and throw fellows. Use a Vaishnava for what you want and you throw. Just like a spoon. You use it for stirring juice or something. After the job is done, use and throw. This mentality is Duryodhana mentality. Or Balram Duryodhana relationship is like that only. Or all this people getting sakapata krpa. It's like that. Don't use Guru. Don't do pretense in the name of devotional service. Then you cannot see the real form of the person. If you really want the real Vaishnava, then we have to come. Like Hanuman wanted to see Lakshman and Ram, correct, no? Did Hanuman go in his real form? He disguised in another form and went like a Brahmana. Do you know that? So could he understand who Ram was? No. Afterwards, when Ram revealed, Hanuman cried. He said, my dear Lord, you are my eternal master. Why I couldn't recognize you? Lord smiled and said, you didn't come in your original form, so I didn't reveal my form. See? Therefore, we should not hide ourselves. We should genuinely approach Guru, genuinely approach Krishna for seva bhav. Yeah. We cannot get their mercy at all. And therefore, we cannot see the real form. We will be cheated. We will get all external things, he says. So, that means if we don't want external things and we don't want to get cheated, we want akapata krpa. For that, we have to become as genuine as Pandavas, as genuine as Prachetas. as genuine as Prahalad, as genuine as Ambarish Maharaj. So all these people got, first class mercy, pure mercy. Because they approached with a pure intention, they got pure mercy. Krishna Bhagavan ki, Krishna Balram ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.